So guys, now it's time for go to straight to the action, and I'll be showing you JSON codes, the template of the codes, and by when I have shared the URL, or by your own search can actually get all these 3-4 key URLs where all the properties for or all the GAN for Google schema markup exist, and from once we have gotten the base code from their template, you can just make your edits as per your own website, as per the relevance to what we sell, to our own packages, and to the key metrics, to the key properties that we want to show in schema markups. And once we have done the edits and submitted the code, we will be good to go. After you have done everything, you would need, there might be some code implementations and error for which Google actually gives you a debugging tool. So I'll share the link of that also, and if there are any JSON codes, code error placements, you can run your code over there, see the errors, debug them, and resubmit them for authorization. And once we have already implemented the code and we have done it, there is no bugging problem, there is no need for debugging, there are no errors. Then the last property that we need is called Google Rich Snippets Test tool. So once you have implemented the code correctly, you will be week to week, you will be coming on this rich snippets tool and see the way your listings appear on Google. You can also generate a preview of what the work we have done, of how your website is going to appear on the Google, and you can track your progress, and you can see if things are working out or not. There is just one reason for things to not work out: if you do not stick to Google guidelines, for which there is another URL which actually gives you the practice of all Google guidelines, Google best guidelines for implementing codes. And once you have taken care of that also, there shouldn't be any problem on you getting the results. So let's start from this. Let's start from some key resources. Here is your basic this is your structured data guidelines page, where Google tells you A and Z of how to implement your codes and what are the best practices to follow. I will just quickly scroll through it, the format. So there is three programming languages we can work on, three type of scripts. Either we go microdata or RDFS or JSON LD. We are going to go with JSON LD because easy Java codes, script codes to work on, and easily you can feed value and optimize results. So it will give you a good gyan on what kind of a content, like the values we are choosing for these schema markups, what kind of a content it should be, what should be relevance, what should be completeness, how to not try to game the system, how to not show the wrong information, how to not show the fake up your ratings and stuff like that, in which all ill practices Google might just not implement your schema markups, and you, with all the work done for say coming 2-3 weeks, you will still not be able to capitalize on results. No more damage. It is not going to take you site down even if you malfunction with some of these best lines, but better stick to them. No fun not going through the guidelines. So this is your structured data guidelines. I'll share the URL for your reading. Let's go to the business. Let's see the code. Let's see the codes and see how we are going to implement. The whole tutorial which I am trying to give over here is actually given by a property, one of the Google properties called Code Labs. If you go and just spend your 30 minutes or 20 minutes on Code Labs, it will give you the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A to Z of schema markup implementations. You don't even need to listen to me that for the same. So if you follow up, if you try to do one exercise with this example, and you have actually seen the codes, underlying HTML codes for one example website, and you have played on those codes and you have activated them, try to run them in the tool over here, and if you do not get any errors, and if you can successfully check the outcome on rich snippets tool, your job is done. This is what you are going to, this is what our developers are going to do on the website for this entire month. And because because it is a meticulous approach. It is you cannot just have one kind of a property declared for all your website, because there are different categories. Like if you want to show rating and review, the ideal practice from Google is that you show a rating and review for all the packages, not just the company brand names rating and review. People want to know the rating or review of each and every item you sell. So it is going to be a molecular approach, not one size fit all. And but yeah, if you have some and that is for tech team to decide. If we have some mechanism to push codes on various product page in one go, or through most of my website in one go, it is going to save us a lot of time. Otherwise, we'll have to go to manual methods and have to do close it page by page on best 15-20 page that we decide to work on within this month. So this is the overview. One example for this exercise, let me run you through this process. Example is the cake baking company, which is very delighted to show its cakes, baked cakes, and cookies right here in top of the Google with a carousel. 1, 2, 3. This list can actually go on horizontally. 4, 5, 6 carousels. Okay, so carousels is a type of a rich snippets. They are capitalizing carousels. They are also capitalizing ratings. All these brands are showing ratings. All these brands are also showing the number of reviews, 35, 4, and all. So these are the properties they are using: reviews, ratings, and carousels. They are also showing you 50-minute, 50-minute. This is maybe the ETA of a delivery time. So delivery time is another property they are trying to bring from the website and show proactively on the Google search listing. Most important, calories, 98 calorie, 86 calorie, and all. So this is where we discussed the example of calories. So you can also define a structure markup for, say, something called calories, which is there for each and every of your product on your website. And then Google job is to bring that up from website and show it in the search listing itself, so you get more clicks. So this is pretty much about it. This is one of the project. Just ignore this part. One of the project, you can see code example for that, but I'll show you from some other place. Add recipe structure data. This is where the action begins. So this is how the code looks like, and I will just explain you what this code is. So this is what the code is. Okay, so once you do this exercise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have done it and you have run it in the debugging tool, you will get something like page is eligible for its results, means your work is done, finished, and you can go back and chill. Okay, so let's try to do one as an example, which I said. Guys, this is where the action begins. You've got to be a little attentive over here. So on Google Search Console, this developers.google.com, I'll share the URL for them. This is all about how to the technical implementations that address our question number 3, know how and all. See the list: articles, book, breadcrumb, carousel, course, COVID, critical, datasets, event, fact check, FAQ, how to, image licensing, job postings, and stuff. These are exactly the properties. Your JSON markup, your schema markup story begins with something called the element, the most important element called property. Property, Google has actually declared a list of all these properties that various type of businesses, from a pro bono organization or a magazine or a news channel to e-commerce item selling website like us, will be interested in. And this is the entire list. You cannot work on all these lists because all of this will not be important to you, to the nature of your business. So take out 3, 4 which are the most impactful and implement them, and you can start going to see the results. So let me tell you something about the properties. Article, suppose a news website wants to, when someone is searching, suppose I'm searching for Idea stock price, Vodafone Idea stock price. I do not want to click on the link, then go on the website and then find the price. I want to just see the price on my Google listing itself. So such kind of news items or such kind of literary items, the websites have to define something called the article property type. Schema markup, article property type, and then they can pull out that content from website and show it on the Google listing. Typically for our business, carousels, we can use carousels like this company which was showing you the photos of cakes here. You can use the same logic to show the packages of your healthcare products. I lost it somewhere, I guess, but you knew that there were cake pages, baking pages and stuff. So we can use carousel, we can use, but suppose there is an event, suppose some company is launching a mega sales like Flipkart in Dussehra and all. So in all its Google listing, it can actually give people a date of the event, and people will be delighted to click and know more about the event or probably participate in it and add to the revenues. A job listing website would be most important to would like to bring out certain most search kind of a job listings on the Google page itself. People do not have to wait to come to the website and find those listings, but They can find it in the Google listing itself, and that will increase the CTR. So they can define a schema markup for job posting and cover some most important jobs or lucrative jobs or mass search jobs under this category. Similarly, you can show logo, movie, Q&A. FAQ is something Pradeep is also working on. You can, when you look for certain brands, the FAQ of that FAQ covered on the website of that brand can actually figure out in your Google search, and you can use. So this is how it is all done. Let me take you one example. I have just 5 minutes. Most important, what we are going, when we are going to take out the list of 3-4 more most important properties and going to implement our data structure, our structured data markup on the same. The number one would probably be product, because let's get to the bottom of the business, start selling products, start making revenues. So product is something. How would you do product? Let me show you the code for that. Clicking on this, any of these will actually give you the code on the right window. See the code for implementation and code guideline for the product came. See this is speaker company. It is just delightfully showing all the images of its cool speakers on the Google listing itself. This is going to increase CTR heavily for this company and going to get a lot of traffic. People no longer have to wait for the website to load up and then search the products internally. I can search on the Google itself, one stage advance in the funnel, so I can get a lot of quick information, and that will help the CTR of the company. So how do you do product? Okay, everything you see over here in this green, everything, this is actually your JSON code. This is actually your JavaScript object notification code. Without this code, your website will not hang up. It will still load, it will still work, and it will get you traffic. But if you do not implement these codes, then you don't get any of those schema markup elements shown in the Google listing. So without that, you will just look like one plain search of Microsoft Wikipedia, Microsoft team that I showed you in the last video. There will not be rating, review, there will not be any links, there will not be address, location, phone number, there will not be recommendations, whatever package, carousels, videos, none of this. And then people might click you, or people might not click you. If your competitor is going to give more data, more information upfront, then they have a reason not to click you and rather click your competitors. That's why we are going to do it. So this is my entire JSON code, and this is a very simple code to understand. So on the top of it, this is a basic HTML. On the top of it, first I defined the language I'm going to use, which is JSON LD in our case, so application/LD JSON. And after this is where the game starts. So within product, so the code starts with something called type. You first have to define the variable type. किसके लिए कर रहे हो, क्या दिखाना चाह रहे हो, ठीक है? Type, and within that type, you have some other variables. If you are trying to show product, if the type is product, what is the name of the product? What is the image of the product? Where are the URLs of the product? What is the description of the product? What is the length and size and features of the product? If I'm selling a website, a mobile phone and all. So if I just do Control F type, I see 23 type variables defined here. Type equals to product, type equals to brand, type equals to review, type equals to rating, type equals to person, type equals to aggregate rating, type equals to offer. These are exactly the things that we are trying to show on our Google listing. And within every type, you will see 2, 3, 4 lines, 5 lines, other kind of variable declaration, which we can easily do. And so once you have defined that type, you are telling, okay, what to cover in that type and all. And with the help of all this, with the help of copying this code and implementing on our website with the correct edits, like changing the product name to our product name, changing the rating of this website to our website, changing the name of the person. Suppose I'm a book selling website and I want to show the name of the authors of a particular bestseller. Then person is type is person, name is Fred Benson. So I can change it to, we will not show author and all, but if we have to, we would have changed the name to our author and all. So typically defining the variable and copying all this JSON code and selecting on the 2, 3, 4 most important properties. This is exactly the game is. Let me just discuss it here. See, type equals to product, name equals to executive anvil. They are the name of the product is executive anvil. Image, these are the URLs of the image. This is where the photos, JPG files of the images are of those speakers that we saw are located. This is SKU, probably some number in Chennai. or this is description of the product, that people will also be able to see in the Google list itself. Typically rating में number दे दो, rating value 4 है, 5 है, person author का name क्या है, नहीं है. If you're going to launch an offer, give the date of when the offer closes. Every offer comes with a closing expiring days. Okay, 11/20. Give the denomination of the currency, USD, $120. All these things you can show, and you can